I'm so sorry, Ethel. I will have to call you back later. Film thread is on now.
Hey, it's Chris Gore, got the knowledge in store. Oh yeah, Alan Dan, watching Talk PSA. Movie and TV show reviews that you need. Film threads on fire, we're planting the seeds. Film thread, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the phone, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round.
Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. We made it. Today, tons of reviews. One of the best movies I've seen this year is opening in theaters this weekend. And I've also seen two of the worst movies of the year. They're all in the same weekend. Best and worst. This will be a fun show. Plus your comments and questions. We're talking Naked Gun. And I think Alan is getting his clothes on at some point here. So let's go. Let's start the show. Let's get things rocking. Come on. Film Threat Day. Where is he?
I'm going to need a positive review from both of you of my new movie, The Naked Gun. Don't forget, I still have a particular set of skills, and I can very easily find you both. Oh, and Chris, I'm going to need a few t-shirts from the Film Threat store.
Nope.
Where the hell is this guy? Are you kidding me? Get out here now. Alan.
You finally made it.
Yes. I feel like we're starting to lose grasp of the opening joke.
Why are you always late?
Okay. All right. I think you're okay. Keep going. You're doing it.
Yeah, no, you're always late.
Yeah.
And so I must mock you for this.
Yeah.
Wait, go away. Come back.
I have a particular set of skills that can help me find Alan for you. Oh, and don't forget to go out and watch me in the remake of the very funny Naked Gun. Now back to Alan. Alan.
Look,
Yeah.
we
Yes.
will.
I'm just saying there's always a structure to the joke. And I
Hey,
feel like
if you show up early for the stream, you get to see stuff like this.
all right.
That's your benefit here. So
Yeah.
hey, let's talk to people in the chat
Yeah.
as we get started.
Oh, well, our buddy Press M to Start, who we met over at San Diego Comic-Con for 2. Dudes, it's Friday. May the weekend be great and chill.
Yeah, we didn't just meet, we hung out.
Yeah. Did an interview. Also, I'll see Mark Press M chimes in. I started watching the DVDs Chris Gore gave me, and a lot of them are pretty good. Doing reviews on them that would be posted on Tuesday.
Well, I gave Mark Press M to Start, subbed his channel. He did an interview with us, which was cool. We had a great chat, and then I gave him a giant bag of Blu-rays.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck.
Yeah.
There are good ones
sounds-
in there. There are gems. There's also probably some crap. Not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
And it looks like he's doing his own DVD Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't own
Copy
that.
away.
I don't own that. Just review DVDs on Tuesdays.
Knee Pain gifted 5 Film Threat memberships. Thank you.
Thank you, Knee Pain. Appreciate you. Thank
Lord
you a lot.
Thothy, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, sign up as a member, join us on X, Discord, or Rumble and Instagram. Buy our merch. Shop.filmthread.com.
That's right. It is the spirit of Halloween. Yes, it's August 1st. What does that mean?
It's
That
alive.
means- Well, it means the store that closed down at your mall is now a Spirit Halloween store. And that's even a joke in the Naked Gun, but we've got the Spirit of Halloween. That's a classic horror film threat inspired shirts. I like the Night of the Living Film Threat. That's my favorite one. I'm going to get that one. We have Attack of the Dock. Get your physical media. 25 hours of extras plus last chance. Take your summer gear. We have a Jaws inspired shirt. Check it out. We have a beach towel to spend your summer dollars. Camp Film Threat, Film Threat Jaws inspired shirt. Even, yes, I did get it. I got the Film Threat beach towel. There is according to Alan, there's a fully naked woman behind this towel.
Yes. Sydney
So,
Sweeney quality woman.
It's probably Sydney Sweeney.
Oh.
So there you go. Thank you, Lord Thoth. We appreciate you.
Buy those X-ray glasses from the back of comic books, and you'll be able to see her.
I bought those. They don't work. It's a dumb joke. So, hey, another quick comment.
Yes, from Danny Cash. Love this channel. You guys are so authentic. Hope to have the same vibe from my channel. I'm starting. Go for it.
That's a good place to start. Get comfortable. And I feel like, if you make mistakes, just turn it into a joke. We do that all the time. We make mistakes, and well, it is what it is.
Oh, you're not gonna play a video?
You could play a video, but don't do it.
I thought you had one lined up there
already. No, Alan. No,
you're off this morning.
No. Cool. Hey, you know what I love before movies? Trailers, except when they play too many.
Yeah.
But what I do like are PSAs, public service announcements. The Alamo Drafthouse has some really clever ones. One of the classic ones I've always loved is John Waters does a no smoking ad. And he smokes during the entire PSA, telling you not to smoke, and then telling you go ahead and smoke anyways because it gives ushers jobs, which I love. But this PSA is from Zach Cregger, the filmmaker behind Weapons, which we will review next Friday. He does a PSA. It's short. It's clever. I think we should watch it.
Hey, I'm Zach Cregger. I'm the director of Barbarian and the new horror movie Weapons. But before I became a horror director, I was a sketch comedy guy in The Whitest Kids You Know. But, I am part of a long, proud tradition. Jordan Peele, sketch comedy king turned horror master. John Carpenter, he wasn't always the John Carpenter. Back in '73, he was Johnny C, prop comic of the year, opened for Gallagher twice. You might remember his catchphrase from t-shirts and bumper stickers, "Get her chucklin'." Alfred Hitchcock, he had a sketch comedy troupe in college called the MacGuffins. He invented the suspenseful yes and. And Dario Argento, he's a full-on circus clown. The knives were real, the nightmares came later. The first rule of comedy and horror is listen. If you're not listening, you ruin the scare. If you're on your phone, you miss the punchline. So please, don't talk, don't text. Or as old Johnny C famously said, get her chuckling.
Is that, Alan, I have to ask, is that a thing?
Which thing? Chuckling. Get her chuckling? Not
is that a get her chuckling? Is that a thing?
Not on the West Coast.
That yes, might be an East Coast thing.
Midwest thing.
So there you go. I like that. I like directors with a sense of humor. I love it.
Yeah.
Hey.
By the way, when I saw Bad Boys 2, half hour of commercials and trailers, kids were getting antsy.
Yeah.
They were squirming and talking and running.
Speaking of horror, we will talk about a movie today called Together, starring Dave Franco and Alison Brie. We'll discuss that movie. But they had a comment here about, codependency and movie couples, famous movie couples. Let's watch this quick clip and we'll talk about. I have no idea what your opinion is of Together. We both saw it separately. So I'm excited to talk to you about it, but let's watch this clip of Allison and Dave.
Jack and Rose, weekend fling.
That's insane. I don't want to play this game with you anymore.
I'm Allison Brie.
I'm Dave Franco.
And today we're going to rank the codependency of some movie couples.
Allie and Noah in The Notebook.
He's like not seeing his kids.
They're like, Dad, we miss you. And he's like, this isn't
Don't
about you.
talk to me, son and daughter. Let's give them
I think
two.
they're number 2.
Danny and Christian from Midsommar.
It's a different kind of codependency. I would say they're hovering in like the 6 range. Rose and Jack.
She just historically doesn't let Jack get up on the door with her.
But he's like, I want to die for you.
Is that codependent?
There's different definitions of codependency.
5.
Sam and Molly and Ghost.
They're like a pretty healthy couple, honestly.
Molly, you in danger, girl.
Like, yes, he dies and becomes a ghost and like won't stop hanging around her, but it's like romantic. It's unfinished ghost business as a normal.
Okay.
10. They're doing great. Wendy and Jack Torrance from The Shining. I feel like they're pretty high.
Again, instinctually, when you hear Jack and Rose and Jack and Wendy, you put
Jack and Wendy more codependent.
This is wild.
He's going so crazy. They have a child.
You're throwing that at 3?
Yeah, Seth and Ronnie from The Fly.
I feel like they're lower on the list.
She does stick around while he's getting so gross.
This is true.
4. Frank and Julia from Hellraiser.
This isn't one that immediately comes to mind, honestly.
We'll say 9.
9.
Great.
Anna and Mark in Possession.
We have very few slots left. Taylor and Lula from Wild at Heart. They'll be 8.
Anna and Mark in Possession are 7, but they should be much higher.
But there's just no room in this power ranking.
Bella and Edward.
They are the number 1 most independent
number 1, I
couple
agree.
in all of film.
Thank you for playing along.
Go see Together now in theaters.
Well, there you go.
that
That's
went
kind of a clever, fun way to talk about some of the themes of that movie. And we will, don't tell me what you think. I mean, tell me what you think, but don't tell me right now. I want to, when we discuss together, we'll do that. So watch our review if you're watching this as a news clip. So one of the other films we are reviewing today is, of course, The Naked Gun. And Liam Neeson showed up before a screening in New York.
I thought you were saying AMC Burbank.
I would have loved that. That would not be weird. If
I know.
That.
It'd be weird in my area.
Yeah. But so he showed up, he gave an intro, and he, of course, said some funny stuff you would expect Liam Neeson to say. Where I got to play the whole thing. He ends it saying something perfect that I think we all think but do not say. Well, we actually say it a lot, frankly. But it was cool to see someone in the industry say this. Here we go. It's 30-second clip.
For coming, and we'd like you to welcome the star of the show, Liam Neeson.
Yeah!
Everybody, thanks for coming. Please laugh out loud. Giggles. That's as far as I can do now. Spoiler alert. There's no zombies. No superheroes. And Pedro Pascal isn't. Enjoy.
I don't. It's kind of low. Basically, what he said:
really.
No zombies, no superheroes, and Pedro Pascal isn't in the movie. What do you think about that, Alan?
Yeah, some people listen to the to America, to the general movie going audience that is tired of the man.
They really, spacing out an actor, I think, is really important. You can't Pedro. Maybe it's not Pedro's fault. He was in 3 movies in 3 months.
Oh, less than that.
Yeah, less than that. Maybe 2 months.
Yeah, maybe a little over a month, actually.
Materialist, Eddington, and the Fantastic Four.
Eddington was only 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. So it's too much. And I liked Eddington. You did not as much. You did not.
I did not like Eddington.
We both liked Materialists, and I think we're sort of like, it's a Fantastic Four is okay, but not really Pedro's fault. But maybe don't say yes to every movie that is offered to you. Maybe say, maybe I'm worth more. Maybe instead of doing 3 movies, I can just do 1 really good film.
Yeah.
Not
Look, I'll defend him in this. He's 50 years old. So he needs, if he wants to make the most of his Hollywood career, he needs to say yes to everything. Sadly.
Unfortunate but true. Hey, James Gunn. We don't hear a lot from him.
No.
We rarely hear from James Gunn, but here he is, he explains the new DCU with regard to the upcoming Peacemaker season 2, which you and I will see. I don't know if we'll review it, but we'll look at the first few episodes. But let's see what he had to say about the new DCU here in this 1-minute clip.
The DCU begins canonically with Creature Commandos, and then Superman continues the DCU, and then Peacemaker season 2 continues from there. Now, that's the basics. If you really want to keep it simple and not confused, just know that those 3 things are canon. Anything that we show in the previously seen on Peacemaker then becomes canon. Anything that they talk about having happened in the old world, that then becomes canon. We know, for instance, that Rick Flag's son was killed in Corto Maltese because we hear him talk about it in Creature Commandos. But what you really need to know is everything is canon from Creature Commandos, Superman through Peacemaker season 2. That's for the people that really want to get into the weeds.
Yeah, well, I did not watch Creature Commandos. Yeah. Did you, Alan?
No, and I honestly don't care. I'm just not that invested in the DC.
I am not that invested either. What is it? Why is it not like, okay, Superman is the new start and what?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is like, I think we're done with the whole canon. I mean, I guess we could nitpick the first 3 phases of Marvel and find, things that aren't canon or things that violate canon. Who cares? Just give me a good movie. Give me a good movie.
Right.
Okay, so you violate canon a little bit. So you make Superman's dad a bad guy. So what?
Yeah, first of all, I hate that. We've talked about it quite a bit. Yeah. I hate that. I hate it. So
and I have no problem with it.
And did anyone watch Creature Commandos? I did not.
Yeah, I believe
Badger. I want to know if you did.
I know Badger did. I didn't. He talks about
it. I did not. So there you go. But I'm not sold on it. He hasn't sold me. Start with the movie. I feel like if I am on HBO Max, that's its own DC world. Mm-hmm. The movies in the theater, that's its own world. You want to connect everything? It's again what has been the downfall of Marvel, which is too many things I have to keep up with. It's too much.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the way they're going though is it's not. You don't need to watch everything. Like Clayface, I don't think you need to watch Clayface to understand what's going on in the DCU. I do believe you have to watch Superman, and I like it when the movies are prime canon. You must watch the movies. Star Wars is that way to me. To me, Star Wars is the movies, and the other stuff, the cartoons and the other things, the Acolyte, they're just kind of filler. Hey, this might shine some light on things. I mean, the Acolyte shined a lot of light on the movies, but to me, it's always the movies. And if the TV show violates the canon of the movies, whatever.
Every YouTube channel I know on the planet has been covering the Sydney Sweeney situation. Let's just call it that. She did an ad for American Eagle jeans, and then people freaked out. And by people, I mean unattractive women. Felt somehow threatened by this. And Justine Bateman has done, it's amazing, a social media video critique. She's doing a ton of them. So let's take a look at those. And it ties into film. But before we do that, I have to share with you a couple things. This thing has gone viral. It reminds me of people I knew in college that everything could be ruined by their political viewpoint. be like, well, the capitalist system, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to enjoy a Coke and popcorn at the movies. Well, the hegemony of the blah, blah, blah. Hey, that girl looks good in that outfit. Like all the people complaining about this remind me of the morons I knew in college in the 80s. Okay. We're now in present day in 2025. And these woke morons are just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's make it entertaining. But before I show you that, I gotta share one thing here. This is great. Is Tiffany Fong? I know that you follow her. You might be related.
Yes, I do follow her. She's a crypto journalist.
Yeah. She says my jeans are yellow. Why is she not doing stuff for American Eagle? That's American to me. And even xenomorphs are getting in on the action. Look at this. You see a xenomorph from Gummies on. And look, our jeans fit all. Acid wash face hugger jeans. There's the xenomorph. I love it.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. But Justine Bateman is here to save the day. Her social media video critiques are amazing. I'll have you read them after we watch. These are spectacular. Can you read that, Alan?
No, but
I'll make it a little bigger. So social media video critique. This is from Libs of TikTok.
No.
Let's watch this. We'll watch the video, then read her critique. This is helpful for aspiring filmmakers. Okay, let's watch this.
If anyone from American Eagle who was involved in the creation of Sydney Sweeney's most recent advertisement booked into my Pilates class, I would give them the hardest exercise class that I was capable of doing on the lightest possible spring load with 0 breath cues. And I would make it the toughest exercise class that they'd ever experienced in their lives. If anyone from American Eagle.
Okay, so there we go. That's the video. Here is what Justine Bateman has to say. Please read.
Okay, so point 1, this is an interesting hostage demand video. The director has given the viewer visual cues as to the main character's harrowing situation by accentuating the actress's ruddy complexion and by putting her hair in disarray. The actress adds to this with a hashtag almost
with a halting.
I can't read this. Almost rate
delivery.
I can't read this.
Delivery of the lines. One has the distinct impression that the character is reluctantly reading a pre-prepared statement. The flaw in this piece is the composition of the character's quote threat. The writer assumes the audience has intimate knowledge about Lois Springs and the absence of breath cues. Consequently, the viewer cannot grasp the impact of this demand threat. Finn. She ends all of them with Finn. Okay, let's look up more because there are a ton. Oh, look, and she quote tweets Yellow Flash. This is great.
Oh, sweet.
Okay, let's watch this video. Here, we'll play this. You might have seen this one. It's 20 seconds. Let's watch it here and then read her critique.
Should we be surprised that a company whose name is literally American Eagle is making fascist propaganda like this? Probably not, but it's still really shocking. Like a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman is talking about her good genes. Like, that is Nazi propaganda. Should we be surprised that a company whose name is literally American?
All right.
We got it. We got it. Big stopper.
Yeah, let's go now to Justine Bateman's critique. The director has really layered this piece. The actress is wearing a set of headphones that completely cover her ears, suggesting she is listening to something entirely different than we are. While the dialogue comes out of her mouth, the viewer is consumed with curiosity as to what audio reality the character is living. Is it music? A German book on tape? Old voicemail messages from her deceased mother? The director compounds this intrigue with continuously shaky camera work, suggesting there is a metaphoric earthquake occurring in the character's life. Additionally, we have the image of Sydney Sweeney on the left of the screen with a dubious look on her face, signaling to the viewer that the actress on the right is not to be taken seriously. Finn. And she quote tweeted Yellow Flash. That's great.
Awesome.
Yeah, let's see. There's more here. Let's look at another one. He quote tweeted Dr. Jebra Baushi. Let's look at this video. It's a little longer. Oh my God, I haven't seen this one. Let's see how much we can stand of this. Here we go.
Sydney Sweeney on like every different app to the sun for the last day and a half. So I naturally wanted to know what y'all were trashing her for, because apparently there's a few things to trash her for. And I went and I saw the American Eagle ad, and let me tell you, my jaw dropped, because that is 100% Nazi propaganda. That is 100% Nazi propaganda. And as someone who's worked in marketing for over 15 years, that's had to go through multiple channels to be approved. That idea had to go through the marketing team, had to be flushed out by the marketing team, had to go through legal, had to go through sales, had to go through like literally everything. That had to go through like every part of American Eagle. So that choice,
blah blah.
Let's see what Sydney Sweeney had to say on this. Social media video critique from Justine Bateman. We were initially unsure about giving this piece a critique due to its amateurish and unprofessional nature, but we recognize the opportunity to teach others to avoid these mistakes. The actress is placed in the lower right corner of frame. This never changes, nor is it justified by the theme or plot of this piece, unless this is justifiably intentional. It should not be employed. The audience is left with the actress's nose, the strange and unrevealed design behind her head, and the banisters at the scene at the top of the frame. There is no explanation regarding this design, nor is there a payoff to the steady focus on the banister. No other characters are seen on the banister. No new development of any kind occurs here. The banister takes the top third of the frame and yet does not pay off for the audience at all. This causes a kind of attention exhaust for the viewer. Anticipation is built in this kind of framing. Without a payoff, the viewer is left distant and emotionally withdrawn from the piece, a state that is not conducive to a film's success. Finn. I love these. These are great. There are more. Let's see this one here. There's a lot. It says even the lesbians are angry. Let's look at this one here, Alan. I know this would interest you. Here we go.
I don't usually talk about fashion, but let's talk about how Sydney Sweeney and American Eagle just became the poster children for Make America White, something that it's never been. So in case you haven't seen the controversy on here, a model by the name of Sydney Sweeney, go check out her family because they're all red hat wearing everybody was a little kind of like, what side of the fence does she sit on? Well, based on American Eagle's very deliberate, because you cannot tell me otherwise, ad campaign about good genes. If you haven't watched it, please go make sure that you see all of it, including the last commercial that's a part of it. They are literally talking about eugenics, having good genes and what makes good genes. And the most sickening part about this whole thing is that the American Eagle stock has gone up by 15% in this whole thing, which means not enough people know about this controversy right now. So here's to spread the word that American Eagle, also known for brands like Aerie, Todd Snyder, and Unsubscribed, just became the forefront of advertisements in Make America White, something that it's never been. Do what you will with this information. Make sure more people know about it and more people get informed, because this is the shit that
you would think a lesbian would like Sydney Sweeney. I mean, think of the logic in that.
Lesbians.
Yeah. Well, here's what here's what Justine Bateman. Why don't you give it a try, Alan?
Sure, this will be fun. An audition tape for the side effect disclosure voiceover at the end of the pharmaceutical commercials. Self-taping has become standard for auditioning actors, where at least the preliminary round of auditions are merely tape submissions. The burden of production falls upon the actor. They are responsible for the lighting, setting, etc. of the filmed audition. As in this case, with sensitive... Oh, you keep moving. having trouble reading it alone and you're moving it. As is the case with sensitive or confidential ad copy, it appears the actual script was not given to the actor. They were likely instructed to read whatever they wanted for the audition instead. This actor chose to read her X feed. While a choice of convenience, it is better to read something that is more in line with an eventual ad, such as the side effects waning from an
Warnings.
from an allergy aired ad.
Already aired ad.
Though the sun glared on the left side of frame may have been an artistic choice, it is somewhat distracting here. The sunglasses choice at the beginning should be reconsidered. They disappear suddenly in the first cut. This telltale cut signals to production that the actress could not recite the dialogue in one take. The more unfortunate.
That's enough. I'll just say this. These are so entertaining. She's giving serious, like if you're in a film class, serious, like critiques of videos posted on social media. I think Justine Bateman is brilliant, and bravo to Sydney Sweeney for doing this ad. She's I don't know. I love it. She did another ad from a company. Let me see. I did save it here. I'll find it. But what do you think of all this, Alan?
We give too much power to people with no viewers.
Yes.
Just the fact anyone can go online, complain, and then someone will pick it up and then make it viral, and we have to subject ourselves to this. Also, one thing I've learned from progressives is they don't like people having fun anymore.
Yes, well, that was, again, this is no different than when I was in college. But once people got out of college, they kind of said, oh, yeah, you're an idiot. Stop acting like that. Stop making everything not fun. And
exactly.
When I see all this, it's like, oh, yeah, I remember these are the idiots I dealt with in college who took everything that was fun and somehow explained it like, oh, here's the political reason why you should not be allowed to enjoy life. These are broken people. Let me end with this.
Oh, I just want to say it's people who live miserable lives and are jealous that other people are living lives better than them, and they can't stand it, and they want to take it away from everybody.
Well, Sydney Sweeney is in a new ad called Hey Dude, wearing a one-piece swimsuit and a cowboy hat. Let's take a look at this just to kind of bring it all full circle here. Here we go.
You can take the dude out of the country. You can't take the country out of the dude. Wish you were here.
Hey Dude Country. I love country. There you go. So look, we don't normally cover just solely political topics, but when Justine Bateman is giving serious film critique to these social posts, we have to cover it because we're a Justine Bateman, by the way, fan of the show and a friend of the show.
Yeah. More friend of the show, I'd say.
Yeah. All right, let's go to comments from people, and then we'll move on to reviews because we have a lot of reviews.
The Guns, 57 for 10. Alan, you were right about Fantastic Four music. Who uses a downgrade arpeggio? It's like
downward.
It's kind of worked during the movie. MK Solid for 499. Last week was emotional. I know Alan was a fan. How do you guys feel about America without Hulk Hogan? It's something I never thought I would see. I'll just say Hulk Hogan was the guy who got me into wrestling in the first place. I remember watching, I think it was after the first WrestleMania when Roddy Piper slapped the hell out of Cyndi Lauper, and then Hulk Hogan comes to her rescue. I was like, this wrestling is real, and I got into it. Regarding America without Hulk Hogan, let's be honest, Hulk Hogan hasn't been around for a long time in wrestling in America, so we're kind of used to it. But at the same time, it's sad and tragic the way he went.
Yeah, yeah. I remember him from Rocky 3. He was awesome. That's when I first knew him. Wasn't always a wrestling fan, but just loved him turning up, and he was great in interviews. And I don't know. I don't know why people aren't fans of him. I think maybe he said stupid things. Have not we all done this in our lives? You know?
He was not a perfect man, and neither are we. Knee pain, remember, for 12 months. Pierce septum does not equals not surprise. I think the double equal sign means it's a negative. The Skeleton King for 5. It's crazy how people are overanalyze things, especially people who use the term media literacy. It's literacy that it's literally just a pun gene commercial, not that deep.
Yep.
Bones Saw's ready.
Wait, let me do Bone Saw's ready.
Yeah, I heard Gary say something funny. Clorox bleach should do a campaign with "It's okay to be white" as their.
I love that.
And also from Bone Saw is ready.
You gotta say it right.
No, you were gonna say it. Okay.
Bone Saw's ready. It's from Spider-Man.
Well, it's it's Randy Montoya Savage. Superman will be forgotten this time next year. Raimi's Spider-Man is timeless. Just make a good movie, Gunn, and people will like it.
Bingo.
Yeah, because we're all talking about Batman versus Superman. Razorburn 35. Chris, did you get the Beaver popcorn bucket?
I am kind of dialing back the popcorn bucket acquisitions. Although I did see a Herbie, the robot, and was tempted. I did not purchase it. It's like $75.
Yes, but I know where you can get it. At my local theater. There it is.
There you go. There it is.
Yeah.
Nice beaver. They didn't make a joke out of it in the movie. It's just in the background, but
yeah,
I loved it.
Yeah. Here, what
okay, read this and then we're starting reviews.
There's these new buttons that I don't understand on StreamYard. Ron Enriquez, Pedro Pascal was almost in 4 movies this summer. Josh Brolin replaced him in Weapons.
Is that true? Oh my God, Ron, that is.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Hey, let's do reviews, Alan.
Yeah.
Let's get the reviews up. We'll start with Smurfs. I think we'll build up to Naked Gun.
Right.
But Alan, I did not see Smurfs. We're going to dial back the covering children's movies. I don't know how much our audience, our viewers really care. We'll do the major ones. We're doing 2 today, but what did you think of Smurfs?
Yeah. Well, we missed it last week. And so we promised and we saved it for this week. But what, you were at CinemaCon with me. They did a Smurfs thing. What was your biggest criticism about Smurfs when you saw the
I didn't have one. I just didn't care and I didn't want to see it.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was the fact that Rihanna is all over it. And so is this a Smurfs movie or is it a Smurfette movie? Look, even in this poster, Rihanna is Smurfette. It just shows you. Now you'll be happy to know, yes, Smurfette is in the movie. She has a prominent role in the movie, but this is not about Smurfette. No, it's worse. It's about James Corden, who plays. Yeah, I know. He plays No Name Smurf. He's the Smurf who doesn't have a name, like Hefty Smurf or Brainy Smurf. He's just a Smurf that doesn't have anything. Is remarkable in no way. And the movie, essentially, the overall theme of the movie is No Name Smurf finally gets a name. But starting from the back, a long time ago, there was these magical books protected by 3 Smurfs, Papa Smurf being one of them. And one of the books, if you collect these books, if the evil Razamel and Gargamel collect all 4 books, they become these powerful wizards. One of the books realized that they were doing something wrong and disappeared and went to Smurfland to hide. And for centuries, this book remained hidden. Razamel, the brother of Gargamel, finds the book, captures it, and not only captures it, but kidnaps Papa Smurf at the same time. And now Smurfette and the gang must go and find him. This is a kids movie. It is decidedly a kids movie. I that's ultimately what I could say about it. If you have kids who have a passing interest in Smurfs, go ahead and take it to this. I just found I like Smurfs when I was a kid. So I think overall, I'll give it a bare passing. The Rihanna stuff didn't bother me. If she was the true star of the movie, I'd probably say no, because I don't want to see a Smurfette movie. James Corden is always annoying, and I guess his annoyingness works well in this movie. But it kind of takes the lore of the Smurfs, progresses it, and ultimately, I think the reason why we were okay passing on it last week was who cares? Who cares about this movie?
Exactly.
Yeah. The best and worst thing I can say about this movie is the animation is inconsistent, but when it's good, it's really good. For example, there's a part where they're actually in Paris, and the animation of them in real life looked really good. There's this barren wasteland they go to. It looked really good. When they're in Smurfland, not so good. It looked like a TV movie. So it's a little inconsistent, but kids are not going to judge it the way I judge it. So bare passing, go see it if you have kids, and that's the best I can give the Smurfs.
Well, wait, you can listen to Alan, or I can tell you that I haven't seen it, and I will not go see it.
Yeah,
I don't. I'm going to answer. You probably heard Harrison Ford say this on video somewhere. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I feel like for a movie like this, it has to have some adult appeal. This is single digit kids only movie. I don't care. I won't see it. No matter what you say, Alan.
The thing I'll say about kids movies is kids deserve better. You don't have to dumb down your story for kids. This is a dumbed down story. There's zero for adults. It looks good. It's flashy. They're cute and all. But you can put some effort into these things. And I think Hollywood resists effort at this moment.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the Pixar movies kind of set the standard of like a movie that works on different levels. Mm-hmm. And what's great about Pixar films when they were, the classic ones, is that they'll work on one level when you're a kid. Like my kids saw Toy Story, the Toy Story films. Mm-hmm. And as an adult, you can re-experience those movies differently. And that's what makes but that's harder to do. That's why those types of kids films are few and far between.
Yeah, I mean, but it was the Disney Renaissance. I was in high school when it started, well into college and my master's degree, and there was stuff for adults, and it appealed to children. Look, Bonesaw in the comments said, "Who cares about Rihanna? Ask a 10-year-old how important it is that Rihanna plays Smurfette in the movie they're about to see."
Yeah,
I mean, they don't know what kids want. And so to the idea that you need to put Rihanna in the forefront of this movie tells you don't understand your audience, because they don't care.
Well, let's pivot to another kids film that you and I both saw,
mm-hmm.
The Bad Guys 2. Let's talk about The Bad Guys 2. I saw the first film, years ago, and it was kind of fun. It was fun. I mean, they've got a good cast. Sam Rockwell plays Mr. Wolf. Tony Ramos is Mr. Piranha, a new character. Okay. Aquafina's plays the Ms. Tarantula, who's a hacker. It's a heist movie, and it's like if Tarantino did a kids film and it was a heist film. I think the first movie was clever, fun. I like that we feature, characters doing bad things. They're stealing items. And I thought the first film was, it was fine. I enjoyed it. Did not enjoy this one as much. The bad guys have now gone. They're trying to get jobs. They're out of jail. They're trying to, live a clean life, and a series of other heists are happening by some other team, and they get framed and blamed for these other heists, which happens to be a group of women, a female group, led by Kitty Cat and Pigtail and Mr. Piranha, Anthony Ramos, whatever. I don't know. What did you think?
Well, I think, well, definitely better than Smurfs. Similar
Yes, it was better
animation
than
style. I did like it. And let's see. I think. Sorry, I had my thoughts, and I'm ready to go here.
Well, normally you speak aloud your thoughts, so this is very surprising.
I know.
Wait, I think I got it wrong. Mr. Piranha is
he was in
I
the
thought
last
he
movie.
was played. No, I thought he was played by Mark Maron. Am I incorrect? In the first movie. Okay, I could be wrong. I'll have to fact check that. Sorry, I thought it was Mark Maron. But anyways, go on. I got that incorrect.
Okay, so yeah, what I was gonna say was what I like about this one's, and something that's missing in a lot of the films of the animated films this year is a moral message.
Yes,
there's that temptation. The bad guys have become good. They are struggling at becoming good, and it would be so easy for them just to become bad and just go back to the life that they had before. And this really hammers that home. It's like, no, doing bad things is bad. Do good things, even if your life is going to be infinitely better by stealing, by lying, whatever. Don't do it. This and I think that's what this movie does, is it really plays on this. I like the message of it. I think kids are going to like the movie. To me, it did feel different from the first movie, because you see that rocket ship. There's a groundedness even in the over the top thrill and crime heist of the first movie, and here we're going to space for some reason, and to me that kind of pulls me out of the movie and says, okay, I can no longer take this movie seriously. But when it stays on the ground, this is a film that I like because it introduces kids to heist films like Ocean's 11 and all the other ones, and so I will say that definite recommendation for me, especially if you have kids. I think you'll somewhat enjoy it, and is nowhere as bad as Smurfs.
Well, a bear recommend from me, but the first movie is much better, much better film. I thought this got really convoluted with the MacGuffinite. This material that that is like a magnet for all the gold on the planet. It's like they just went way over the top. This is what the Fast and the Furious movies will be in the next movie. It's so over the top, going to space and ridiculous. I really like Sam Rockwell. I've always liked him as an actor, and he puts it over the top for me. But
I mean, you look at the first one is his conversion story from being a bad guy to being a good guy, and there's drama and tension in that adults and kids can really get behind. And this one, he already starts off as good, and he's tempted, but he's and so the stakes are just not as high from a character development standpoint. And then going into space and then having this gold magnet, it just kind of takes it out of the realm of reality at that moment.
Well, bear recommend from both of us, but if anything, it should interest you in checking out the first movie, which is much better. Let's go to quick comments here.
Garth Knight returns. Aquafina, the water is just fine. Aquafina is another matter. Garth Knight return also says, putting the Smurfs, any kid's property, in the real world is a recipe for failure. Keep them in their own world for immersion. Yeah, fortunately, they're not in Paris long. It's a very quick scene. So, but you're right.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about a movie that I saw that you did not. War of the Worlds. This is the 2025 update of the classic H.G. Wells story. it's been remade several times. It was a series. It was the Tom Cruise movie directed by Steven Spielberg. I'm a fan of the original classic. This film is on Amazon Prime, so it's streaming only. But I did watch the film. And let me just say this. I love like a good update. Give me an update.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it. Ice Cube leads the cast. It's the way they chose to tell the story that is the weak aspect of this movie, including Ice Cube, who is horribly miscast. So this movie is what you would call a screen movie. You know what that is, Alan?
Yeah, where you watch it on your. It takes place on iPhones, cell phones, and
the entire movie is on screens. Now that works for a movie like Searching, starring John Cho. If you ever saw that film, that was very good.
Yeah.
It's the best. So what it is you see a desktop on a computer, you see social media posts, you see video, you see Zoom calls, people talking to each other. That's the whole movie. The whole movie takes place on a screen, which was a terrible choice to begin with. And it deals with somehow these things from another world are interested in data. They go to data centers and it's kind of their energy. And Ice Cube is sort of, he works in some like the NSA security admin. He had he lost his wife years ago. He's still distraught with that. And he follows his kids, like, you know, because he can monitor everything. He's always got his kids on camera. He interacts with them. They're trying to run from the creatures. His son is a hacker. He joins a hacker group. The whole thing taking place on screens is dumb. It's so dumb. And Ice Cube is so miscast. He just, oh hell no. He's just, everything is just so, he gets into this. He's just Ice Cube. I don't buy him as a brilliant scientist at all. He's like, and the whole thing taking place on screens is insufferable. It's the worst, probably the worst film I've seen this year. But there's another I'll talk about today. The worst film I've seen this year, the worst incarnation of War of the Worlds. And the screen, look, there have been good screen movies. I encourage you to check out Searching, starring John Cho. Very good screen film, a good use, very clever. This was god-awful. God-awful. No logic to it. Terrible effects. I couldn't believe that this got made. I don't know what to say.
Well,
but it's like a weird screen thriller using the skin or premise of H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. I could not recommend this movie enough. God awful bad.
Not recommend this movie.
Yeah, I'm not recommending a double negative. Wait,
yeah, you just recommended the movie.
I did. I'm not recommending it. Don't put words in my mouth.
No, you said the word. You will not recommend this movie.
Yes, I cannot. I am not recommending this movie, and it's the worst film of the year, next to another movie I'll talk about today.
Okay,
we'll
need I remind you, you didn't like the device. Need I remind you that Orson Welles made War of the Worlds famous by putting on a radio show mimicking a real actual news broadcast, which scared most of America.
You can find it on YouTube, and it is brilliant. I heard it.
But it's the same idea.
Right, but they would play it every Halloween. They'd air this about an hour, this radio play.
Mm-hmm.
It is riveting. That was brilliant.
And when it was first performed, people actually thought aliens had landed on Earth.
Yeah, they made a movie about that. But I'm saying this all taking place on screen, it's just the two things that are bad are the premise, and Ice Cube and I like Ice Cube, to be clear. I like him. He is god awful in this movie. This is this is a negative, like not a 0, it's a negative 10 out of 10. Negative 10 out of 10. Bad. What's funny, I have 2 other bad movies.
Yeah.
To talk about today.
Okay, but I can guarantee you someone at Amazon said, wouldn't it be great if we did a modern take on the Orson Welles radio play? And that's what this sounds like.
I guarantee the executive that would say that wouldn't even know the Orson Welles play, the radio play. I guarantee. Look, it's more than 5 years old. They would reference the Tom Cruise movie directed by Spielberg, which I actually think is fine. I enjoy that, from 2005, I believe.
It's not a
like
classic,
that film.
but it was fine.
It's not a classic, but it is good at the time. I just like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
I like Tom Cruise.
And
But
Dakota Fanning. Yeah.
yeah, this god awful. Avoid like the plague. Watch the trailer and laugh your ass off. It's terrible. It reminds me of. I'm gonna show. You know what? I'm gonna show this. This is how bad this movie is. It's so bad. It made me think of a video I haven't seen in years. It's called Accidents Stink. Bowel Care 202. This is about.
Look at that, it's poo. Really? Is that poop? Those doctors call it stool. Not this stool, this stool. But it's okay if you call it poop. I'll know what you're talking about.
We need to be scientifically precise. Not stool, feces.
Doo-doo, that's what we call it at home. Doo-dee!
This is about poop and fecal accidents.
I want to see
This
someone.
video not only reminds me of the War of the Worlds 2025 I just suffered through. This is a better video from the Found Footage Fest.
I prefer number 2. That's more discreet.
Come on now. It's just fecal matter. Tell it like it is.
It's taking a dump.
You mean having a bowel movement? We all do it.
Oh, come on. Let's just go ahead and call it.
Hey. We cannot say that.
One thing
This is better than what I witnessed, Alan. This is better. I'm being serious.
Oh man. True story. Back in my pastoral days, I did a talk and I mentioned that Jesus farted, and people would not have any of that. Jesus farted. He pooped.
Is that in the Bible?
Jesus went through everything a man went through, a human being went through, and that includes farting.
definitely sure of, accidents really stink.
All right, I've had enough of that. I'm just saying that this is so bad. It made me think of that poop video.
Does someone at least say caca?
I don't think they do. Caca. Let's go to comments before we get to the Naked Gun.
All right. Texas War Eagle became a YouTube member. Welcome aboard. Thank you for your support. Chris from Moonlight Productions. Do the Martians die from a computer virus instead of the common cold?
Yes.
Do they? Did you just spoil the ending?
Everyone knows the ending.
Beersaurus Rex. Are we there yet? 2, War of the Worlds.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. There we go. But now it's time, Alan. You and I have both seen The Naked Gun. I am a huge fan of Police Squad, the series, which I watched in first run. I saw it. I have seen all the Naked Gun films multiple times. I like the first one. I like the third one. And the second is not as good, but that's okay.
I like the second one.
But I want to know, what did you think of Naked Gun?
Naked Gun is, well, it's a reboot. Definitely a reboot. We recast all the great characters. Only one returning from the original. and then new directors, new writers. I will say that throughout the movie, I found myself constantly saying how how the original would have done that joke better. But in the end, I have to say I laughed. I laughed out loud. I laughed out loud many times. The audience I was with laughed out loud. And I think it's a solid comedy, which suffers from what most comedies do, and that's a weak third act. But having said all that, I'm okay with it. But the original Naked Gun series is much better than this.
Well, that's a simple short review, but why don't you go into it with more depth? And I will as well. But go ahead.
Okay. Well, I was just giving you general, but if you want to talk about it, okay. So it's done by the director of Popstar. He's from The Lonely Island, Akiva Schaffer. Popstar is a hell of is one of the funniest movies of the last 10 years, in my opinion. And I loved Popstar better than this. And the reason is that as a comedy, Popstar is from the mind of Lonely Island. There were no rules at that time, no rules that they had to follow. The problem here is there are rules to follow with the Naked Gun. And I think they made their version of a Naked Gun movie, but they didn't make a Naked Gun movie. I think Liam Neeson's okay, but like I said, I'm having a hard time reviewing this movie without comparing it to the original. And I think that's unfair. This is the Akiva Schaffer version of the Naked Gun. It's not the David Zucker version. The two are very different, and the two approach it from different viewpoints. And I think it's weaker because Akiva Schaffer is bound by the rules of the Naked Gun, which doesn't allow him to really, he attempts to tell the same style of jokes of the original rather than just creating his own cop comedy, which I think he could do. And so I think when it comes down to it, I laughed. I had a good time. There's nothing really wrong with the film. So I would recommend it, but hell, go see the Naked Gun instead. The original.
Well, no. Strong recommend from me. I saw it with a packed audience that was laughing from the beginning to the end. Let me tell you the things that are strong about it. Pam Anderson and Liam Neeson are phenomenal. They not only have great chemistry, they understood the assignment. Liam Neeson was born to do this because of his deadly serious Taken roles. And he's done so many movies that are a ripoff of Taken. He's goofing on his previous films as well as, taking up the mantle of Frank Drebin in this.
Yeah, you're saying he understands the requirements of making a spoof movie, and he did it well.
Which is to play it deadly seriously. He's willing to, you see him in that, of course, the little schoolgirl outfit in the beginning. That's that opening scene, which unfortunately I think some of the things that ruin it are the trailers. Ruined a lot of the jokes, unfortunately. But Pam Anderson and Liam Neeson are so good. When they have that infrared, binoculars, and you see them, it looks like they're doing naughty things with a dog. It is just over the top.
Yeah,
the
but
audience,
spoiled in the commercials.
The audience lost it. It was wall-to-wall funny, and it followed the rules, as you said, the style of humor, and it works. I do think it got a little crazy with there's a nod to Mission Impossible in it. It was clever, but Naked Gun should be more about police work, I think. So I loved it. It was also short. It's like 85 minutes with credits. By the way, there's a post-credit scene. There are jokes in the credits. We stayed and watched. It was great. It said on-set dressing, vinaigrette, ranch, French. There's so many jokes in the credits. They made fun of credits, but the main story ends in an hour and 15 minutes. It did what it did was it knew it did not overstay its welcome. It knew when to end. I think the biggest flaw, because I recently watched the Naked Gun films, the biggest flaw is no supporting cast. Paul Walter Hauser is great.
But he's a straight man.
He's
the
a
movie.
straight man. Everyone else, freaking O.J. Simpson was so funny in the original. George Kennedy, so good. The rest, he had other people in the cast who were funny to work off of. The supporting cast doesn't have much to do in this. They really missed out. And I feel like they cut it back.
Yeah, I mean that's my point. Is when they try to do Naked Gun jokes, it's not as funny as the Naked Gun jokes. You talk about the credits. There's a scene during the credits when the music plays and everyone is frozen on screen. This is a classic from the television series.
Right, from the TV
But
series.
the thing is, they call out the joke. They totally ruin the joke. They don't make it funny. Just watch the end credits of all 6 episodes of the television show, and it was brilliant the way they played with that end scene. The credits were funny, but Airplane started all that.
Look,
and
I'll just say, comedy nerds like you and maybe Paul Chado, are gonna pick it apart. I had so much fun watching this. It was a blast. Now,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I recommended this movie. I laughed. I mean, that's number one.
Recommend.
Right. But the number one requirement of a comedy is I laugh. And if I laugh out loud, even better. And I did. I laughed at this movie. I laughed out loud at this movie, but I've seen better. And I've seen better Naked Guns. And so again, what they should have done was just allow the Lonely Island guys to create their own police comedy. And I think it would have been better because they're not bound by the rules of the Naked Gun. They could follow their own rules and break all the rules they can in it, rather than being limited by the Naked Gun.
And one of the things, there's nothing woke about this movie. They don't even really make fun of woke stuff at all, which I think is smart.
Well, they call some things out which are funny. The whole you shot him in the back as he was running away.
Oh, that was great. That was great. That got one of the biggest laughs. That was good.
Yeah, no, it was that. I mean, and to me, that was okay. The moment that they kind of winked at the audience, and say, "Okay, this is our woke moment," and then
yeah. But it was great. It was funny. What I mean is, by not doing that, it doesn't date the movie. The movie, if they did tons of jokes like that, I wouldn't want them to do that. It would date the film. The film seems timeless in that sense. Like what's funny in this works. What's funny in the old, but God, I love those old movies. I watched them all recently. I was watching clips on YouTube when I got home. Like, oh God, this was great. Everything about it was.
Well, when you say dated, I think of Airplane and realize, my daughter wouldn't know anybody in Airplane.
Yeah, I mean, it did. I mean, they missed out in this. They should have had more cameos and better supporting cast. That's the thing that doesn't, that's what was missing. Was lots of cameos of tons of people, a supporting cast that actually has something to do, and they're allowed to be funny, because Paul Walter Hauser is very funny in real life. He can do funny,
but he's a straight man in the whole film.
Right. So,
well, the other thing is, look, I like Danny Houston. I think he was the wrong choice for the villain, because I think you need a well-known celebrity who you would not think as a villain to play the villain. You had Ricardo Montalban. I guess you could see him as a villain.
Or Robert Goulet,
Robert Goulet. I mean, that's the quality of villain I wanted in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, so look, I loved it, had a great time. I think the thing is, see this with a packed audience.
Yeah, see it this weekend.
See it this weekend. Find the screenings that is most crowded and go to that one.
Yeah,
because you'll have more fun. But everyone just, I mean, I know I miss jokes because people laugh too much. But and also what's refreshing about this, we haven't gotten comedies in years. I hope this movie does well in the theaters. I hope it gives people permission to make comedies again, right? Like, why have we stopped doing that? I mean, that's the thing. The people that are humorless, people that don't get the Sydney Sweeney jeans ad joke. It's a pun, okay? Not a whatever you read into it to fit your political agenda to vilify certain people. It's just fun. It's a return to that. And what's funny is I remember going to the movies. There was a comedy like this every month. Every month there were good ones that are not so good, but they were constant. This is like a glass of water after walking through the desert. We haven't had this in so long.
Yeah. Well, we're also still waiting for that woke or the parody of woke culture. That's something we desperately need.
Not another woke movie. I think by the time it got made, to be out of date.
Yeah. I think the biggest problem with comedies, or why people don't make comedies anymore, is the idea of punching down.
Right.
And right now, every joke is punching down. You mentioned a jeans ad is punching down. For some reason, we listen to the people who are offended by jokes that appear to be, at the expense of people who are lower than them. And I think you need to punch down, you need to punch sideways, you need to punch up, you need to punch in every direction. That's the only fair way, and the only way to create a comedy that you're free to just explore. And basically, why comedies work is because it's saying things that you think but can't say out loud.
Let's go to comments.
Bonesaw is ready for 10. I give Naked Gun a 7 out of 10. A lot of funny jokes. Neeson nails the role. He didn't like Anderson, and I didn't like Anderson, and a lot of her sections run long. There are a couple sections of straight up plagiarism, in my humble opinion.
That's okay. I agree with you. Probably 7, between a 7 and 8 out of 10. It's an 8 with an audience. It's a 7 just on its own.
By the way, Priscilla Presley is in the movie, and she is theoretically Liam Neeson's mother in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. How does that happen? Beersaurus Rex, member for 35 months. Neeson's cameo in Life's Too Short is amazing. It is brilliant.
Yeah, I've got AIDS. I've got
full-blown AIDS. Okay. The Skeleton King for 5. I really enjoyed it. I had low expectations. It was pretty clever and had great jokes. It's been a long time since I laughed that much. Good comedy.
I agree.
It's a lesser version of the existing Naked Guns. Kiss My Grits for $19.99. Oh, I missed that show. Have y'all seen David Zucker's interview with Dave Rubin, where he reveals he submitted his Naked Gun 4 script to Paramount, but they passed in favor of Seth MacFarlane because they assumed Seth could draw a younger audience. I missed that interview, but he said the same thing on the Film Threat interview with me.
That's right. Go to Film Threat Interviews channel.
2 interviews.
Check out part 2 interview with
Dick Stein. Alan is fuddy-duddy. I will admit that it was hard for me not to constantly compare this Naked Gun with the originals. I said it. Ron Sharman, counting the trailer gags, it turned out to be a properly funny movie. Yes,
I agree. I wish so many of the good jokes would not have been ruined in the trailer.
Mm-hmm. Ololiukui, OG Naked Gun has crazy credits. Yeah. And Sweeney Gummy. Seems like it would be a really solid movie if you never saw the original. I think so. I think I was biased. I'll admit it. Tyler W. Translation: Society is too PC for another true Naked Gun movie.
Yeah, unfortunately, but I think based on the audience that I saw the movie with, they loved it. Alan, let's talk about another film you and I saw together.
Kind of.
Called Together. This stars Dave Franco and Alison Brie as a couple. They've, they got together when they were 25. They're now 35, not married. But Allison's character does propose, and he kind of hesitates. So they play a couple. Tim and Millie, they're moving from the city into the country where Millie is becoming a teacher. Tim still has dreams of being a rock star, playing in bands, and the two are, and he hasn't given up on his dream, though he's had little success. And he's kind of hesitant about moving, into the countryside, kind of remote from out of the city. They get in a lovely place. She's a school teacher, and they're trying to adjust to this new life. When on a late night hike together, they fall down a hole and discover this sort of a bunch of water,
a spring, an underground spring,
underground spring that's collected, which Tim's character drinks from, and creepy, weird things begin to happen on the level of body horror. His body is not completely under his control. He becomes obsessed with Millie. Maybe it's not such a bad thing. It's reignited their relationship, aroused something deep within him to reignite their romance. And I don't want to get too much into it, but Millie ends up also having the water, and things begin to happen that neither can explain. So first, starting with bizarre dreams that they are melding together, that the two come together as one and complete each other in an emotional sense. Of course, in romance, in a romantic relationship, that happens. But now it begins to manifest quite literally when their skin melds together. And they have to do things that are unthinkable to detach. I won't go into the gory aspects of the movie. I honestly looked away several times. This is a gory body horror film on the level of Cronenberg, or even as aspects of In the Dream Realm, David Lynch. I love those inspirations. I love the fact it's not just about the body horror. There are emotional things at play here about commitment, about codependency, and I do think the ending, which I won't give away, obviously, it was a little too much of a wink or felt like a Black Mirror episode, but in the end, I really enjoyed this film. It stuck with me, so to speak. So I recommend it. It's one of the best horror films of the year that I've seen so far. And I know this because I've seen a lot of them, and I'll tell you about a bad one later, but I really enjoyed this. Not for everyone. Let me just a warning, not for everyone. There is gory stuff in this that if you are not into horror, I turned away a couple times from the screen. But I give this a strong recommend. One of the best horror films of the year. I like a simple story. This couple, Allison Brie and Dave Franco, real life married couple. No surprise.
They have chemistry.
There's chemistry. And I've always loved Dave Franco. I mean, I've always liked him. I mean, he's in The Disaster Artist. I like him. So strong recommend. Alan, what did you think? Because you don't normally see horror.
Yeah, you said it. This is not for everybody, and I've said it many times. Not into horror, and so when I walked out midway through,
no, you saw the whole thing.
No, I didn't see the whole thing. No, okay. This should be a testament to how good this movie is. The anxiety levels it built up in me were so strong, I had to walk out of this movie.
Really?
And so, because body horror, with the exception of The Substance, which has a lot of body horror in it, that's not my thing. And you say you couldn't watch certain scenes. That's me. I can't. And so, but I will say to the point that I walked out, they were doing their job. They were building that anxiety, that tension. I liked the spring because it was like a wet sphincter, the way they built that thing. And
I thought it looked more like a vagina, to be honest.
no, I think it was more of a sphincter than a vagina because it
All right.
goes right into a singular tiny hole. But yeah. So look, I didn't finish it. I can't judge the movie. From what I saw, it was very effective to the point where, yeah, I walked out because I'm like, no, this is not my
When
thing.
did you walk out? I want to know when.
When did I? Not too long after they woke up from the cave.
Wow. You kind of saw where it was going.
Yeah, I did. And I'm like, it's late. I have things to do. And I just know that I'm going to be tortured for the next hour if I stay here. And so
I will say this, having seen a lot of horror films
Mm-hmm.
recently. I mean, I'm always watching horror. This director, Michael Shanks, very purposeful. Tone is a big part of it. He nailed it. Love the sort of David Lynch and David Cronenberg inspired aspects of it. If you can get to the end, you would have loved it, Alan, the way it ended.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I understood the subtext and the themes going in, but the ride I would have to go through to get there is not the one I want to go on. And I think it should be the highest compliment to this movie that I walked out of it.
Okay.
It did its job.
Strong recommend from me. Alan walked out. You do you. You make your own choice. But I'm telling you, the horror films I've seen this year, this is the best.
Yeah.
Let's go to comments.
All right. Alan's face says it all about this movie. Yeah. From SD Solomon. Saying Solomon. Yeah, I have to tell you this story. I'll make it fast. I was part of the test audience for Child's Play, the first one. And same reaction. I did not like this movie. It was too scary. I was just apprehensive the entire time. And I wrote that in the notes. And a few days later, they called me and wanted me to go into details as to why I did not like this movie. And I think that was the convincer that they had a great movie on their hands.
That you hated it.
Yeah. Razorbird. Is this like The Thing, Gory?
Not as far as The Thing, but
I feel it's more like
sure,
The Fly.
it definitely was inspired by The Thing, Carpenter's The Thing, and The Fly.
Yeah.
It's got aspects of that. So, hey, let's talk about really quickly. Let's talk about another movie. How about a movie I haven't seen? Alan, you saw a film called Self-Driver.
Yeah. Self-Driver.
Tell me about Self-Driver.
Yeah. So I think once in a while, it's good to talk about an indie film. And so Self-Driver is that indie film. It's a thriller. Stars a guy named D who is down on his luck. He has a wife and child. He has rent to pay. He doesn't have enough money for it. So he gets into the ride sharing game. And he finds that, ride sharing is not what you expect it to be. There's not a lot of money in it until a particular passenger walks in or gets into his car and says, "Hey, I've got a proposition for you. I have an alternate rideshare program you can join. In fact, you'll make a lot of money for it. For the first 5 rides you do, you'll earn a bonus $100 each. And if you can do a 6-hour run, you'll earn $1,000, $1,000 bonus. The only caveat is you open the app, you must do exactly what the app says, and you cannot talk to your passengers." And so after thinking about it a little bit, thinking it's kind of suspicious, but he really needs that money, he decides to sign up. And so the app turns on, and all he sees on the screen of the app are directions: go forward, turn left, turn right. And if he misses a direction, if he forgets a turn, he gets deducted $50. And so the first ride he gets, he picks up a young woman. They go along. He's just following along. He tries to talk to her. She says, "You're not supposed to talk to me." Fine. We understand the rules of the movie now. The app drops her off at this abandoned building, very suspicious. And she looks out and she's kind of scared. And she says, "Can you wait for me?" And he says yes. And she goes off, opens the door, music playing. Something suspicious is happening. And then the app tells him to go to his next one. And now he has to make that decision. Is he going to give up on the app and stay for the girl's safety? Or is he going to do what the app says? And he chooses to follow the app, which has repercussions down the line. The next one, he picks up a drug dealer or someone we think is a drug dealer. And bad things happen. And the app tells him to drive off, evade the police as much as he can. So this is what I like about this movie. A, it's an indie film. It takes place in the car. 2, it has a solid idea. You know, right off the bat, we understand this guy needs money. He needs it badly. And he's going to do whatever it takes to make that money. And it sets up this situation of this mysterious app, probably a mob app or a mafia type app. And throughout the movie, you follow this guy, you're in his shoes, and you're constantly thinking to yourself, how far would I go? How far would I let this app tell me what to do? And to me, when you have a solid idea, that means that you're engaged with the movie. And that's what I was throughout this entire movie. It's like, what's going to happen next? What would I do if I was in this situation? And, look, we're Film Threat. We like independent films. And this is just one of those movies that has a great idea, but Hollywood would never fund this movie. And so Self-Drivers on VOD, I would highly recommend it just for a good thriller that's not from Hollywood.
I like a good thriller.
Yeah.
I like a good thriller. Yeah. Let me tell you about a film I didn't like. Okay.
All right.
I can't really fully review this movie because I walked out of the film a half hour in. Architecton. Now, Architecton is being distributed by A24. I'm interested in everything A24 puts out. I saw the trailer. I thought it was based on the title about architecture. I thought, well, I'll watch a sort of very thoughtful documentary about architecture. It's a movie about rocks. It's an art film that lovingly shows slow motion footage of rocks being ground into cement for an hour and a half.
For architecture.
I walked out of this film, and it's not beautiful in the sense of, do you know a film called Koyaanisqatsi? It was like a musical. It showed beautiful time-lapse images. Koyaanisqatsi is like this classic. It is an art film, an experimental film, but it's beautiful. The music is beautiful. It says something about culture and civilization and modern. This is a movie about, we don't even meet the guy. He's obsessed with rocks. They spend like 10 minutes arranging a circle of rocks in real time. It's god awful. This is, somebody paid A24 to release this movie. And there are people that will convince you you are dumb for not liking this. It's 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's 0% on Gore Tomatoes. This is one of the worst films of the year, if not the worst. You cannot convince me it's about something that's smart. But to be fair, I did walk out of the film after 40 minutes thinking, this is not getting better. Give me a hook. Teach me something. Tell me something about rocks or architecture or civilization or whatever. 0 out of 10 stars. 0% on Gore Tomatoes.
And it will get an Oscar nomination by the end of the year.
It will be nominated for an Oscar.
Wow.
Let me tell you about another bad film. Pete Davidson, post SNL, has attempted a career. The best thing about the movie, you're looking at it now. It's the poster. You know why? Pete Davidson isn't in it. And I wish Pete Davidson wasn't in this movie. Let me tell you, a great poster. Look at this. It's a needle going into an eye, very provocative. It says, evil never gets old. from the creator of The Purge and the producer of Halloween. What? Associate producer? I don't get it. But Pete Davidson is the star. He plays Max. He lost his older brother, ended his own life after he went to college. He's a foster kid, but he's also an artist. He paints graffiti on a wall and gets caught, and he's sentenced to community service. He could have gone to jail, but he gets community service working at an old folks' home, where he soon discovers, are there weird things going on? The fourth floor of this facility is off limits. His key opens every door except a door in the basement and the fourth floor. He soon discovers weird things are afoot. He walks in one door and sees two of the people from the facility having intimate relations. And he sees potential abuse. He sees people bleeding from their eyes. What's going on? Max just wants to get this over with and get out of this sentence of community service. But the worst part about it is Pete Davidson's acting. There's a sketch he did on SNL that was very funny, where some like attractive woman would break up with him and he would sort of like deadpan just say, okay. Have you seen that sketch where it's like something funny and weird is happening?
Yeah, it's the Chad sketches.
He doesn't react. He's like, okay. That's his acting style in this movie. He sees a woman die in front of him. He jumps out a window and lands on spikes in the front yard of this old folks home and dies horribly gory death. And they close up on his face, and he might as well have just said, okay. His acting is so terrible. John Glover is in it. A classic actor, older in this. Bruce Altman, other people. First of all, what's wrong with this movie? I could see this movie, this script, with a better director and anyone other than Pete Davidson. This could be a decent premise, because without giving things away, there are experiments happening on the people in this home, and all is revealed in Act 3, which I won't tell you any more of, but it's the premise is solid. The execution by the director, god awful, and Pete Davidson, terrible. He can do drama. I've seen him in other movies doing drama. He doesn't know what to do here. And I feel like I get the sense he didn't care through this whole film. Worst horror film of the year. 0% on Gore's Tomatoes. 0 out of 10. Pass. Don't see it. I saw it with an audience of literally 3 other people. Could not have been worse.
Wow. It's August and we've hit rock bottom.
It's August. It's August. Hey, I failed to mention we have an interview with River of Blood director Howard J. Ford. We'll be talking to him in about 5 minutes as we wrap up our reviews. So stick around here. I want to prep for that right now. I'm getting ready for our interview. But I have one last movie to review. Alan. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's talk about it. She Rides Shotgun stars Taron Egerton as he's a criminal. He's in trouble. He's being chased, not just by the cops, but by criminal elements. They all want him. But more than anything, they want his daughter. He's estranged from his young daughter, who he then takes possession of her back. And as he's on the run, he's teaching his daughter how to protect herself, teaching her how to do things that maybe a dad wouldn't normally do, like say use a knife, maybe a gun. And dad is ultimately doing all these things to protect her. This is a road movie as they hop on the road, avoiding the authorities, also avoiding other criminal elements. And it's really the relationship between Taron Egerton's character, who plays Nate, and his daughter, Polly, that makes this movie. While we've seen the on the road story before, this reminded me of like Paper Moon, if it wasn't funny, because the stakes are high, deadly serious. No one remembers Paper Moon. Maybe you do.
I remember Paper Moon.
Ryan O'Neal. Okay.
Yeah, made
Anyways.
Ryan and Tatum famous. Well, Tatum more.
It's a road crime film, but the main thing is Taron Egerton's performance. I mean, always loved him. He's been so good. And the relationship with the daughter, they have this scene where he dyes her hair to kind of change her identity. They have to hide wherever they go. They don't want to be recognized at a gas station. They pull off a job at like a 7-Eleven and things go wrong. He has to, do potentially surgery on himself to fix a gunshot wound. There's like, it's a type of movie you've seen before, elevated by Taron Egerton and this young actress. What's her name? Anna Sophia Hegger, who plays Polly. Really solid movie. Really enjoyed it. But it's a genre that indie road movies are kind of a staple. If you've, not seen those before, they kind of,
They're cheap to make.
They're cheap to make. They're kind of a tried and true formula. So I was ready to not like this film. It nails it on the performances. So it gets a recommend if you like that kind of movie.
All right. Maybe I'll
Let's
see
go
it.
Let's go to comments. Holy heck.
Oh, hey, Mikhail Gorbachev, famed Russian leader for 100. First caller, a longtime listener. I saw you at Comic-Con in San Diego around 2022, but I was too scared to come up with you and try to get a pic. Skinny ways, you guys rock. Love you both. Big pause. Look, you were once the leader of Russia. You should just come up and get a picture with us.
Thank you. So that's super generous. Next time, come up and say hi.
Yeah.
If we're out in public, it's always fun to have someone say they like what you do. So I appreciate that. That's amazing. Wow. Thank you, Mikhail Gorbachev.
Texan War Eagle for 5. Sounds like an app used to get to Epstein Island. Yeah. That's the sequel. Jean who get to 5 Film Threat memberships.
Hey, we have a ton of, and I'm posting more today, ton of new videos for members only from Comic-Con. Check those out.
Matthew Hammond for 2. War of the World third act was worse than expected.
By the way, Matthew Hammond convinced me to watch it. I was like, I'll check it out. I saw the trailer. It looked so bad. I said, I'm going to watch this.
The trailer alone said this is not a movie you should watch.
The worst thing is to see a movie that's just okay. But a really bad film or a really good film will get you going.
Mm-hmm. CJ NR2WB. Alan likes Superman and didn't like The Naked Gun, which should be the biggest recommendation for Naked Gun that you can. I didn't not like The Naked Gun. I like The Naked Gun. Go see it. ADLS 24. So it's Collateral, but with Uber instead of Tom Cruise. Yes.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, there's some pretty ingenious things in there.
Hey, Alan, one of the things we love to do on this show is support indie filmmakers and tell you about their movies. So let's talk to River of Blood director Howard J. Ford. He's here to talk to us about his film. Hey, Howard, how you doing?
Hi, guys. I'm very well. Thank you. And yourselves?
Great. Good to see you. Thanks you can join us here today. Your film is out. I see. Are these posters from all your movies in the background?
From some of my movies. I've done
some.
Few. I know there's. Yeah, I've done. This is my 12th feature film now, and I'm about to start feature film 13. So I'm in prep for that stuff. So I've been busy. I'm an impatient man.
Nice. Tell us about River of Blood.
River of Blood. Okay, thanks for having me on the show, guys. Really appreciate it. And yes, a River of Blood is about 4 kayakers who go on a beautiful vacation to these sort of indigenous woodland and up rivers, and they have a guide played by Joseph Milson. But unfortunately, there is also a tribe of cannibals out there, which is never good for any vacation, I think. But so they take a wrong turn up at the wrong river where they're told not to go because one of their friends goes missing. And of course, they stumble upon the cannibals' ground, so they kind of start getting picked off. That's it in a nutshell, really. But we went to Thailand to shoot this movie because I love going to exotic places. It was a beautiful place to go. So there's no green screen here. We all got on a plane, went to places and went up rivers and went into the mangroves and the jungles and put this film together.
Well, good on you for not using the volume or fake. Fake settings. That is great. Thailand. So you convinced the producers to go to an exotic locale. Did you get vacation time?
I did a little. Do you know, I always this is a great question because every time I kind of do half my films in places because I want to go there. And also I like to take audiences on journeys in maybe places they haven't seen either. Because let's face it, most movies happen, I don't know, they seem to happen in a room. There's a lot of rooms. You're in a room now. I bet most people are in a room.
Yes. Right? I don't want to be in this room. I want to be out.
Let's see the world, man. Yeah, exactly. So I always like to do that. I like to do that myself. I used to say if I wasn't a filmmaker, I'd like to be on a ship discovering new lands. I think they're all pretty much discovered. So I'm a bit late for that. So filmmaking is a way of getting me around the world. And yeah, originally we thought, it's just kind of ridiculous. We thought, where are the real cannibal tribes? I mean, I'm not suggesting.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So we thought Papua New Guinea, and I said, can we go to Papua New Guinea? And I go on to the government. Do not go there. You know what I mean? So we thought, okay, where can we go? And I've been to Thailand a few times on vacations, and I love the place. I love the people, and I remember seeing some really stunning filmic locations. So yeah, convinced the producers and the financiers, who were very lovely. Reinvent financed this movie, and they sold the movie as well. So they're the ones who would have sold it to Saban, etc., to release it. And thank you for anyone who watches the movie. But yeah, I met these guys, and these guys, they're mostly women, lovely ladies, and they financed financed the movie from a Zoom call. I've never had that before. So I thought, hey, that's pretty brave. I really don't want to screw this up. I want to get, I want to come back with a film, at the very least.
Yeah, I've got to say that I've seen a lot of indie films shooting out of Southeast Asia, and more and more these days. What was it like shooting in Thailand, and especially the fact that you're doing a kayak movie in Thailand?
Yeah, great question. So there's two answers to that question. The local crew were fantastic. So the Thai crew, we hooked up with Thai crew, Thai production managers, and they got us local crew, and they were really, really great. And our DOP, a director of photography, a guy called Park, who I've worked with on a few commercials now as well, and he was originally from Thailand, but lived, half an hour away from where I live. And he'd done a movie with Tiffany Hannum-Daniels, who's in the movie and in a couple of my films. And it said, this DOP's from Thailand. I thought, well, I want to do this movie in Thailand, so why don't we kind of hook up, and maybe he can speak the lingo and all of that, because you got to get the thing done. They were fantastic. The crew were great. However, I do not recommend trying to film on a kayak. So it's like we were trying to do all the script, and Tom Boyle wrote the script, who also wrote The Ledge, another movie that I did with him. And we had all this dialogue sequence on kayaks, and it was like the practicality of actually shooting that was really, really a nightmare. Trying to get one shot that is in focus, where the one kayak's not bumping into another, and you're not falling in the water, and the sound person's got, what I mean? I don't recommend that. I don't recommend that. That was a headache.
I think you and Spielberg don't recommend making movies on the water. That's
Don't
pretty.
make movies on the water. Do you know what I said to myself, because I made The Ledge as well? I said, when I got to the end of it, I said, don't make a movie at height. And now I'm about to make another one. story. I just made a movie in a cave. My last movie, Bone Keeper. Sorry, I'm not here to promote that, but I'm in post-production on Bone Keeper, which is a monster movie in a cave. And I understand now why with fantastic movies like The Descent, which I love, they shot it in a studio, not in a real cave, because I get to these really dangerous locations.
Well, I love this concept because I went down a rabbit hole of those sort of tribes that have been left alone, and then you contact them. It never goes well for people that try to contact them from the outside world. They don't understand our ways. It's bad.
Not really. And that's a fearful thing that we have. And it's an incredible, you go anywhere. It's like you go to a new town that's you kind of into a bar or something. And even that, we feel like, hang on, this is not my town. I have no idea how things go around here. That, that's a bar that's not even in your state, right? It can be, I don't know how it is for you guys, but we can, even where we shot the movie, the places you go, you're not familiar with them at all. So going right out into places where they live indigenously,
We've got like 3,000 people watching live. We have questions from our audience. Before we get to that, let's watch the trailer for the movie.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, here we go.
Who's feeling adventurous? I'm going to be your river guide for this trip. Any of you been on a kayak before?
How long have you been out here?
My great-granddad was one of the first outsiders to come here. But unfortunately, he disappeared.
What's that?
No one knows half the stuff that's out here. It's ancient land. Seen the way spiders keep live flies in the webs. The way that a cat plays with a mouse. Killer whales take a nip out of a seal. So they're playing with us. Somebody!
You have to get out of it.
No. No!
Damn.
Terrifying. Terrifying.
Yeah, it was a journey down memory lane, or should I say memory river? I don't know, but it was thank you for showing that, guys. Thank you for watching it, folks.
Yeah, let's go to questions from our audience here. We got a lot of them here. Okay.
Yeah, from Razorburn. Was this movie inspired by the 1980 movie Cannibal Holocaust?
This is a great question. I wish the answer was yes. It isn't. Now, I directed the movie. I didn't write it. The writer, Tom Boyle, did, and he's a great writer, but he hadn't seen those cannibal movies. And funnily enough, when we started talking about making the film, I realized in the group of everyone involved in the movie, I was the only one who'd seen these original Cannibal Ferox, Cannibal Holocaust, all of these original cannibal movies. And I'll be honest with you, I personally, having, enjoyed those movies at the time. My brother and I watched a lot of these types of movies growing up. Probably shouldn't have done, but hey, I'm not damaged. And so I probably would have put even more blood and gore in the film, I'll be honest with you. But I think no one else was familiar with it, but it wasn't inspired by that film. I wish it was. It wasn't.
All right. Texas War Eagle for 5. Now this looks like the White Lotus Thailand we never got. I'm in.
Oh, thanks, man. I hope so. I hope it delivers for you. You never know when you make a movie. You try your best to make something good and give people a different journey and everything else. I hope it works for you. Thanks for checking it out.
All right. Christopher Moonlight Productions. Are you going to tour this movie in theaters? I'm learning that movie theater chains are much more open to indie films now. They want different content for their screens.
Christopher, that's a great question too. I would say I would love to have done that. So Saban are telling me or saying that the film is in quotes in theaters and on demand. And I've had some people say they're buying tickets in some place, but I don't even know. I've got to admit, I don't even know where it's showing in the States. It's allegedly on theaters somewhere. I don't even know where. I think, to be honest, the majority ends up being digital and on demand these days. I'm really glad to hear they are more open, but it's still really hard for us indies to get movies in the theaters. If we're not a big Marvel movie or whatever, I'm not knocking big Marvel movies at all or anything like that. But these big sort of, huge blockbusters, it really is still hard. I'm glad to hear there's rumors that it isn't, but let me tell you, it's still tough.
Yeah, it's a very new trend, and so some make it, some don't. But good on them for getting in.
Yeah, thanks, man. Patrick's up. Shall I just answer? Would that save you guys time? I don't know how.
Let me see.
Read it aloud, Alan.
Okay, I'll read it. You made 5 films since 2019. How did you get on such a roll? Has everything been pre-sold?
Yeah, great question, Patrick. He knows his onions. Yes and no. So I am on a bit of a roll. I've had a few successful films. It's always an up and down journey. Yes, my film. I'm a pre-sellable director now for which is great. Hey, I'm not boasting. It's one of those industry things where you get to a point where you're because I get the films made. A lot of movies don't even get finished or don't get made, or there's some problem and people, lose their mind halfway through because filmmaking is stressful. So I've generally, delivered all the films I've set out to do, and I've had successes here and there in thriller and horror movies. So I'm now pre-sellable. So I'm the type of person, as a director, you can attach to a film, take to a market, and you can get a certain amount of pre-sales. It may not be hundreds of millions or whatever, but it'll sell for a certain amount. So we didn't pre-sell River of Blood, but most of the projects I'm doing now are pre-selling, or indeed at promo stage. We cut a promo, which is like a long version of a trailer. You take them to Cannes and AFM and all the markets and that, and so we're now pre-selling. So, and I've got another film that's already pre-sold enough to get financed, and Bone Keeper, as I mentioned, that's in post-production, so that's done and it's already selling to distributors. So the role is getting a little easier. It's still like walking through mud, but I'm noticing there's a bit of grease on it now.
I'm told it's like trying to run in a vat of Jello.
It is, and I would say Jello is being very kind. I would say there's another word I'd use for a very muddy substance that you might be running through, but I won't use the word. But yeah, it's sometimes that. Filmmaking is nuts. It's the Wild West, honestly. It's really crazy. And I always remember something I was told at school, or I think it was Rudyard Kipling quote, if you can keep your head while all others are losing theirs. It's a funny old thing. It just stayed with me. It's something I heard as a kid. So the madness of what goes on sets and people falling out and your prop falling down and the weather is no good and everything else. And I always try and stay in a zone where I think, what can I shoot? If I can't shoot what's on my piece of paper, what can I shoot? Because I've got to come home with the film.
All right. ADL's asked, we can see the legendary Tony Todd behind you. Anything to say about your time getting to work with him before his sudden passing? Did you have other projects in mind to collab with him again?
Oh, you're giving me goosebumps now. Thank you, man. That's a great question. And the answer is yes. I did during lockdown. You remember that? That was fun, right? And we all had such a great time. I just thought, right, I wanted to make a movie in lockdown, and I couldn't because you're not allowed, right? I wasn't allowed to do anything. So a couple of weeks in, I got incredibly bored and impatient. And I decided to make a film that I could shoot in lockdown. And I'd met Tony Todd. Sat next to him on a long-haul flight to Los Angeles.
Wow.
He was coming back from the UK. And we chatted the whole way. He actually really liked my film, The Dead. I made a zombie movie we shot in Africa about sort of 14 years ago, which was actually very popular also in the States. And he really liked the film. So he was kind of a fan. And I was like, obviously a massive fan of Tony Todd. Love that man. And we had the most spiritual and wonderful conversation on that flight. It wasn't like a surface conversation. We kind of went deep in the time we had. And I really appreciated that. So I really wanted to get him in the Lockdown Hauntings. And I actually shot the rest of the movie live. But Tony Todd's stuff was done on Zoom. And I made that entire movie without any crew. So I did the sound recording, did the camera work. Just went around the country with a load of camera equipment during lockdown because there was a loophole in the law that I was allowed to keep making films as long as I wasn't ever standing within 2 meters of anyone. So there we are. The Lockdown Hauntings, that's already out in the States. But hey, I made that with absolutely no crew at all. But Tony Todd was wonderful. He played a ghost, paranormal psychologist. And yes, I was. Oh my God, I might give you guys an exclusive. I don't know if to do this, but anyway, we made the Dead 1 and we made the Dead 2. My brother and I were getting ready to make the Dead 3, which is the third part of the zombie series. And we may or may not still be doing that. But we were writing a part for Tony Todd. Really good leading part for Tony Todd. I'm so gutted, man. I mean, you know, I love Tony Todd. He was a super, super wonderful man and a fabulous actor. Yeah, he'll be missed.
Okay. St. Solomon asks, greetings, Sir Howard. Love your posters. Was there any issue getting the film made? And if so, how did you resolve it?
Yeah, I mean, films, there's always issues getting them made, and you always wish you had more money. And I have to say, we had some issues on River of Blood. We were in a wonderful place, but some people got ill from dengue fever, which happens when you got mosquitoes all around you. And Kelly, our lovely costume lady, was one of the people who ended up in hospital for that. So we certainly had our challenges. Harking back to The Dead, though, just as a side issue, if I may, when we made the Dead, a zombie movie we made in Africa, I love Africa. That was crazy. I mean, I got mugged at knife point. We were held at gunpoint almost every other day by armed police. We often wouldn't make it to the locations. The lead actor got malaria. Rob Freeman, he got cerebral malaria and was on a drip and was in 2 days of passing away, as the doctor told me at the time. So how we made that movie, and that's the most extreme situation, that if my brother, we were directing, DOPing and doing this thing together. Often we had food poisoning most days. We'd be like, okay, what lens should we put on this camera? Go, excuse me. Yeah. Finish vomiting. Yeah, I think I have a long lens on this. And it was kind of made like that. If the sound recordist wasn't, vomiting or, being a human food blender, we could do dialogue that day, so we, that's how we rolled, on that film. That was the most extreme I've ever had. So there's always challenges. Filmmaking is really, really much tougher. If you haven't made a film, please trust me, it's so much tougher. And all these films out there, and I've seen some great films. I've seen some terrible films. We've all seen them. I've probably made some too, from one end of the spectrum to the other. Every single film that someone makes, even if it's terrible to the beholder, has been a huge sacrifice in their life. And they've set out to make a really amazing film, and they've tried their best to give you something to entertain you. We don't always get it right. We try our best, but I do know that it's an incredibly tough process. But hey, it's what we signed up for. So there we go.
Well, I'm told the movie is out today, so make sure. And it is in theaters. Look on the AMC app. Look up the film. We have two more questions.
All right. Killer Mike G for 5. Great interview. Question regarding distribution now. Any interesting trends or changes you've noticed or like to share about distribution?
Great question. You've got some great questions. You've got some great audience members here. And yes, I have. And I'm afraid they're not all good. So what I have noticed is, which is really killing the indie films particularly, is, and don't get me wrong, I've had 4 movies on Netflix. I had a one in the top 5 Netflix movies over Christmas and New Year, and it did really well there. But a hell of a lot of people, your film comes out and they'll say, what actually happens in a massive load of cases now is they'll say, is it on Netflix? And if it is coming onto Netflix, they won't rent it, they won't pay anything for it because they've got their subscription. Let's say, I'm not saying it's Netflix doing anything wrong, just that a lot of people will watch it if it's free on their streaming platform because they don't really want to pay, the price of a coffee or, a couple of coffees for a movie. And so that's really, really difficult. That's hit the indies hard. So that's squeezing our budgets down massively. And, I miss DVD. I still love to have and to hold, movies. I got a big box of DVDs right there, and I still love that. And I don't know, I'm sure it's the same way you are. That's kind of dying out now. And, held on to the fact I've got a couple of sons, and their machine still works with DVDs that they're playing games on. So I hung in there a little bit longer. I miss all that. There's a lot of things, it's tougher now when we don't have that. And also it's really tough because it's hard to get people into a theater to watch your film unless you pump a lot of advertising money on it. And when you're at a certain budget level, you cannot justify that spend, which is it's really frustrating because we showed River of Blood in the cinema in Cannes and at the Cannes Film Festival, and I've had some terrible screenings at the Cannes Film Festival with some of my films too, but that one was fantastic. We filled the cinema, and my God, the sound, because some of it's in the feeling of the atmosphere, the flies, the sound, and that stuff works so incredibly well in the cinema. I always worry when my film goes digital that please pump your sound, please do something with the sound, because it makes such a difference, that kind of experience.
One last question here as we wrap up.
Yes, from I Will Not Eat the Bugs. Hi, Howard. Do you have any English horror hidden gems that you can recommend? Loved your film The Dead and looking forward to River of Blood.
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you for enjoying The Dead too. The Dead 1 probably. Dead 2 as well. Some people enjoyed that. Well, look, there's some fantastic little indie movies out there, and I please hope you all check out Bone Keeper 2 when we get that movie done. I'm just trying to think of what to recommend. I still love, if you haven't seen Danny Boyle's original Shallow Grave, just going to say I loved Shallow Grave as a little indie. I know it's a while ago now. And I also loved Dog Soldiers and The Descent, which were...
Descent.
Oh, come on. Yeah, and I've now gone and made a cave creature. I'm blatantly advertising. It's not out yet, but I've gone down a cave and made a monster movie, so that's something else I hope to talk about.
I'll give you a quick recommend. Maybe you know this movie, Psychomania. It was George Sanders' last movie.
Psychomania, man. And also my brother's a huge fan. You guys will get on well of that movie. Loves Psychomania. We used to love that movie. So
what a great film. Zombie bikers. I love it.
Yeah, it was fun, man. Yeah. That was fun.
Howard, thank you for joining us on the show, sharing the trailer, your thoughts. River of Blood is in theaters on demand today. Go check it out. Thank you so much for joining us. When your next movie comes out, come back.
I will be back. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, everyone who checks out River of Blood and for all your support on all of my films. I make them for you.
Take care.
Cheers, man. Cheers, guys. Take care. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. That was great.
Yeah.
That was
my gosh.
great. Love talking to filmmakers. Quick things as we wrap up here. Troy Knoll says, member for 1 month. Love Film Threat. Thank you for that. Check out our members only videos. Look at the members only. We give away tickets to things like the Hollywood Bowl. We're doing a promotion with the Hollywood Bowl right now, giving away tickets to Jurassic Park in concert. Did you know that, Alan?
I did not know that.
Among others. Pay attention.
I know. Is John Williams going to be there or no?
That's Maestro at the Movies, which I bought tickets for.
Mhm.
That's later in August, but we are doing that. We love our members. We give away free stuff and do exclusive videos. You can see Alan. And wrap up here saying,
thanks to our mods, Lord Thoth and MK Solid.
yeah, and thanks to all of our members. Have a great weekend. Go see Naked Gun and Together. Those are two films worth checking out. And She Rides Shotgun. There are good movies in the theater. There are some god-awful bad movies. And River of Blood, of course, on VOD, if it's not at a theater near you. What are you doing this weekend, Alan?
Well, clearly I'm going to go see Architecton and
Do
see
not
how
see
long
that
I make
movie.
it through.
I
I'll get
saved
dinner
it.
with it over at AMC.
Yeah. Just, do not do
But
that.
but I'm interested in She Rides Shotgun. You convinced me.
Yeah, check it out. And that will wrap it up for us today. We'll be back on Monday with Versus. And Alan, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, let's get out of here.